Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we've got a map from a creator we've done a few times in the past, and they're somewhat of a specialist on Scandinavian coastal maps, but not just ordinary coastal maps, ones that are quite interesting. Now, this is from a real-life location, but we have taken creative license with this map. We've turned what is indeed a very rural-looking area into one of highways and rail networks and big city build potential, which I'm thinking a few of you are going to like. Now, in real life, this map has some real hidden secrets, which I'll talk about in today's show, and hopefully there won't be a hit taken out on me by the Swedish Navy. Do you think they're likely to take a hit out on me? I do hope not. That's right, taking an assassination out with the Swedish Navy really is a bad way to shut down this channel. Please don't do it. Today's map is, here we go, Muskö by Coveted 666. There's my best Swedish. Muskö. I'm probably wrong, but I've given it a go. There's your start square. What do you want? What do you want? We've got a highway and you've got options. We've got options. That's what we've got there. We've got terrain heights. It's fairly flat, as you'll see when we get down. There is some undulation, but it's not too bad. And then the resources look like such, very usable, mostly fertile and forestry, with a little bit of ore here and there. And if you have Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, it looks like that. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? Well, it's a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. Sunset Harbour, of course, is just a preference. It's down to you whether you like that or not. We've got a few things to subscribe to. We'll be using the new European theme and bizarrely, but it does work, the hot desert LUT. I know. This is Sweden. Stockholm, well known to have the desert bordering it, but no, it's just a LUT, and it just brings out the visual acuity. A visual acuity. I'm going with that. I've lost myself today, but yes, it's the aesthetic that the creator is after, and slightly hazy. I kind of like it. It's okay. I'm quite happy. Right. Okay. So Coveted, pretty good standards. We can expect good standards with Skåne Coast. I was thinking, or was it Skåne Coast? That was probably their best map to date, without checking my so what the one I remember anyway, and it was a very striking map actually. A take on the that bridge that links Denmark to Sweden. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that one without it written down in front of me. I'm going to get it completely wrong. Begins with an O. Anyway, first intersection looks like this. The intersections are pretty neat, obviously hand drawn and very clean and tidy, like the transitions. I like pretty much all about it. We've just got a little bit though, a little bit of a glitching with the road. Just skip past it. I'm going to turn the camera back. There it is. Tiny weeny bit of road glitchery going on there, but it's not the worst thing. Could also possibly smooth out the shark's teeth, the zigzags, the jig-jags even along the edge, but it's not the worst thing in the world, and we are well away from the center 25 tiles there, so I wouldn't worry too much about that one. So yes, this map is completely fictional with the road layouts. This is all for gameplay. I think it really does work for gameplay as well. There's not really anything for you to do. If you want to get down here and build into this little area, it's all set up for you, and there should be good traffic flow throughout. But in real life, this map is quite rural, and I've grabbed the screenshot of what I would call the most densely urban part of the map, and I will share that with you in the second half of the show, so you can see exactly what I mean by this is the most houses I could get into one relative close-up shot off of Google Earth. Sorry, Google Street View, that's the one. And so you'll get a glance at that one. However, underground, there are apparently 20 kilometers of roads, and there are tunnels, and there is an underground military naval harbour. Yeah, this is where the Swedish Navy Scandinavian. I get that little joke in. Yes, this is where they do their destroyers and their submarines. And it's almost got closed down, but according to Wiki, they are, because Wiki's always right, they are looking to reopen and have it fully operational, and I think it's a good thing too. It's quite close to Stockholm, actually. We're just down the way from Stockholm. Stockholm would be outskirts of which would be just off the northeastern corner of the map, if you look at it with its north side up. And I'm talking about all this because there's not really too much to say with it. I'm just showing you that the roads are of a reasonably good standard, more than a reasonably good standard, a very good standard. Throughout, they do crisscross across the map in a sensible kind of route. If you were building a city, you probably would have some sort of network like this. But of course, completely creative. And why not? Why not? Look, it's a city builder game. If you can't have a little bit of fun. The thing is, if you want to take on this and you want to recreate Muskö, if you wanted to actually recreate it, well, it's gonna require you to demolish virtually every single road. But I don't know why you would want to. It's just a blank canvas to build on, really. I would just go for it. I would go for a bit. You would not want to recreate it. You'll see. It's just not worth. It's just not worth ripping up the roads to a rebuild as it is, unless you live on the island. If you live on the island, then great. This roundabout's great. You've got 2 lanes on 2 sides, 1 lane on the other sides. That's because we have national highways coming in from one direction, and we have the 2-lane highways coming in from the other. And it does make absolute perfect sense. Neat little tunnels, neat little rail overpasses, a neat little anarchistic anarchy. Anarchy lives another day right there. Oh, the anarchy roundabouts, I do love them. And heading up here, we do have a little bit of a decorated roundabout right up here in the start square. And again, it's just for detailing. It's fine. It's fine. Just delete it if you don't like it. Meanwhile, as we're in the start square, we have got one of these. Where is it? Now the LOD on this isn't the strongest, but when you get in close, this is an amazing asset. This is the Liège, sorry, yeah, that's right, isn't it? Liège-Guillemins train station by Nickayz. And the thing is, while I'm having trouble saying Liège-Guillemins, Nickayz, I just want to say it like Bianca from EastEnders. It's a British soap opera there, based in London, and it's Nickayz. Just want to say it like that. Oh, bless you. Sorry, Nickayz, for ruining your name. Factoids, because factoids, while we're here. The adventurer Giacomo Casanova, who is often called the world's greatest lover, died on this day, the 4th of June, in 1798. As long ago as that, actually. Wow. Although he was to go on to sleep with hundreds of women, nearly as many as BonBonB. Yay. Hang on, no, I've lost count. No, he beats me slightly. By a lot. And caused scandals throughout Europe, he began his life by taking minor orders in the church. Giacomo Casanova, where he died this day, 1798. And the Liège-Guillemins train station by Nickayz, today's asset of the day. Very nice asset there. Do keep them up, Nickayz. Very nice. Good to see new creators coming up on, well, new creators on the workshop coming up with new assets. I could have plopped it down here. I mean, it would have fitted perfectly right down here, wouldn't it? But then I'd be destroying this original work on the map, and I wanted you to see the original work on the map. We do have a little bit of catenary chaos like here, where it's just touching the rails and the portal's just touching the rails over here. It's not the worst map in the world for catenary issues. We have seen a lot worse than this, but there are just a few minor instances that you might want to clean up, possibly. What I do like, I like the transition between the 2 different rails here, to from the ground to the elevated. And I like that. I think that works. I'm saying this, I'm making a big thing out of it because unfortunately the transitions between the 2 different sorts of rails don't always work so well. Like, again, coming down to ground here, I like transition. A little bit of tiny hint of blue mantle. Impossible to do anything with, apart from not use that transition. And then we've switched then from what looks like vanilla back to, why not have that all the way up to the transition? I don't fully understand why we've gone through 3 different variants there. I'm not massively sold. But worse still, the transition into tunnel from vanilla to this asset in tunnel gives you the worst blue mantle, and there is nothing you can do with this apart from use ploppable surfaces, which again is not something that is in the map, and why would it be? So yeah, there's very little you can do. You can raise it, you can lower it, and so short of not actually using that or transitioning it and not having the vanilla rail running up to it, that would be a thing, maybe. I don't know whether that would resolve it. I'm not going to try and fix it, but it's the same on both ends, and that is for me really quite horrific blue mantle. Of course, you can fix it in your city build. That's always something you can do, but I have to rate the map on how I see it as it is, and as I see it as it is, that is a big chunk of blue mantle. Okay, moving on. The rail's good though. The rail's good. Good creative routes that make all the sense. I do like it when rail routes make all the sense, as well as being creative, functional, fun, aesthetic, all of those, all the bits and pieces thrown in together. So yeah, while I do moan about a little bit here and there, overall, I'm telling you, this is a good rail network, a good rail layout, and I approve. I approve. Just needs a little bit of cleaning up in 1 or 2 places. Right, time for an intermission, and we'll come back and check to see if there's any shipping. There better be shipping.
Are you having trouble keeping roundabouts around when you connect other roads? Do you wonder how on earth do other people manage this? Then you need BonBonB's guide to perfect roundabouts. Click the information button now.
And so back to Muskö. Muskö? Yeah, I'm trying. By Capustor 666 and do you know what? I love the shipping routes on this map. I couldn't ask any more. I could not ask any more. All the transitions are smooth and curved. We've got no sharp turns, potential sharp turns anywhere. That connects to the edge of the map there quite neatly. And we follow it along. It's quite lengthy, but it's a sort of map that you're gonna have quite lengthy shipping routes. Here again, that connects to the edge of the map. It then comes back into the islands over this way, follows around here over the tunnels. We've got lots of little hidden tunnels, the 20 kilometers of tunnels. That also connects over there to the edge of the map. And then if we follow this in, you'll see we have 3 little sprouts that go off into the harbour. I just like it. It's good work. Now water flow. Water flow's a little bit weak, but there are options, so it's not a loser. We've got a very light water flow through the start square straight right there, but it is moving, but it is light. Got this little bay here, which is in the start square, so you could do stuff into there. And also you've got a little hint of this lake as well. So there are options. It doesn't have to be a good strong water flow, but those of you that want good strong water flow aren't going to find it. But it would still work, so it's not a problem. Okay, so the map as a whole looks like this. Now remember, this is a rural, I did promise you the most densely urban part of the island appears to be this. I spent a good 10 minutes going across in Street View and I couldn't find anywhere more urban than that. So when I say this is not a big city in real life, I'm not joking. Of course, underground, there's lots of stuff going on underground, but not in the map that you're looking at here. But you could do it. Wow, you could build a massive challenge is on, guys. Build a massive underground harbour network and sort of like get some Grey Flames? Let's say Greystoke. That's Tarzan, isn't it? Yes, sort of Grey Flames rocks or whatever, and that could look amazing. Now, okay, let's talk about some aesthetics. See this sandy area here? You can see there's a little green edge around the sand bank, just by the edge of the rocks there. And it's even worse around here, where you just got the sand and you've got grass all the way around the outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make my brush a little bit big. I'm just going to paint the sand a little bit more. Just needs a little hint more sand like that. Now if you're saying, but now I want a little bit of grassiness on there, I don't want it just sandy. Well, you can do that. So let's take away a little bit of the sand in the middle, because it's like 60-minute map fix, isn't it? Take away a little bit of sand in the middle like that. So you've got a little bit of island going on there. Again, I could do more work with that. And let's go and grab one random tree. Literally a random tree. I'm not that fussed about this one, but I could spend a lot of time just detailing a little sandy island like this, but I'm not. I'm just going to pop down a few trees on there so it just looks like that's holding the soil in place through their roots. And no, so there, that would be another way of doing that. I think that island looks better. Certainly not how I would do it myself if I was to work from scratch. But I feel that looks... These are even worse. These are even worse. Yeah, they need to be completely sandy but not the sand in the middle of the island. It doesn't make any sense. We've got some fictional castles, and as fictional castles go, with vanilla, it looks perfectly fine to me. Everything looks pretty clean and tidy, and we don't have walls going through the towers, so that's good. Good work again. Is there anything else I've missed? I'm sure there's stuff on here that I was going to show you that I've missed. I've skipped by. We've got little cleared roads areas there as well. We've got some potential quarries. There we go. So you've got ore going on in this little patch down here as well. It's quite off towards the edge of the map, so it doesn't matter too much. Anyway, it's your chance to vote on the map. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. You can vote over, click on the little I button now. You can vote with your Facebook login, with Gmail, with your YouTube, or even with a free Patreon account. Right, so what do I think of today's map? Aesthetically, it looks fine. I'm loving the choice of location, the shapes of the islands. They have been amended slightly for playability, and I feel that the whole thing, I think it deserves a 4th star. It's going to be a low 4, but I think the overall aesthetic of the shape of the islands, etc., deserves 4. Detailing's pretty good. And then we have some rather horrific bits of blue mantle here and there. I can't go higher than 3 because of that, unfortunately. And plus we can improve the sandy beaches. Gameplay potential. I think this is very playable. If you want to recreate Muskö, if you want to recreate it, this is not the map for you. But if you want to do a big city build on an interesting shaped map, go for it. It's a good one. I'm going to go 4 stars. 4 stars for gameplay potential. Muskö, sorry Sweden, Muskö by Kapustor 666. That is a very nice looking real life location variant, and should be a lot of fun to play as well as the sirens go past my window. Woo! Again. Right, so that is it for another show. If you're watching now, you're part of the 20 and out elite. Don't forget to head across to the comments and use the word of the day to get yourself 100 fictional population points. Do keep your own track of these scores, and you can then brag about how many population you've got in your fictional city. I'll catch you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.